Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I want to talk about who the Washington Wizards are going to draft. And before we start today's video, I want to hear your guys' opinions down below in the comments. Who do you guys believe the Wizards are going to draft? And I know a lot of this is going to debate on who are they even going to, you know, hire as a coach. And they're going to be one of the last teams to hire a coach. So this, maybe I have to make a new video on this because we don't really know the full extent of who they could draft. So I want to hear those thoughts down below, guys. Again, that I'm very much interested. So let's get today right into the video and let's talk about who a lot of the people are saying in the media is Corey Kispert. He could be taken ahead. I mean, he is this very competitive player who can probably is the best shooter in the entire draft. He shot almost 53% from the field and 44% from three this past year, averaging 19 points for the almost undefeated Gonzaga Bulldogs. And I know a bunch of people that are Wizards fans are going to tell me about Denny Abdia. I love Denny Abdia. I think he's a combination of Lamar Odom and Hedo Turkoglu. Okay, and I think he has a world of potential. And Scott Brooks criminally underutilized him. Okay, did not correctly utilize him. Really was just telling him to stand in a corner and just catch 3-pointers. Okay, which I think is completely the wrong thing that they should have been doing with Denny Abdia. And I think he's a guy that they should have as a secondary playmaker. And, you know, sort of like not exactly how like Joe Ingles is used, but try to be influenced by his game and use Denny. And Corey Kispert, imagine putting him there next to Bradley Beal and Davis Bertans. Okay, I could imagine if they do. Russell Westbrook's probably going to stay there. So Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Corey Kispert, Davis Bertans. Yes, that's terrible defense. Okay, but you could even think if they do trade Russ, Bradley Beal, Corey Kispert, Denny Aptia, Davis Bertans, and then you got a guy like either Daniel Gatford, Thomas Bryant, or Robin Lopez if they bring him back, or Lynn. And I just think they need further depth on the wing. And this might be a home run swing for a team that's trying to compete as soon as next season. But given Caspert's profile, someone who should be able to come in and play immediately, I think that'd be really good. I think he'd be fantastic and he'd fit really well there. Now, the people who are under contract for next year for this team is Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, both making over 34 million. Russ making over 44, and Bryant making 8.7, Bertans making 16. Then you got Roy making 4.9, Denny 4.6. Chandler Hutchinson has a team option. Personally, I don't. He's not worth 4 million. If you want to like decline and see if he'd resign, he'd probably get picked up by somebody else. I wouldn't mind him leaving. And then there's Gafford, Gill, and Caleb Homsley. So I see them probably bringing back, Cassius Winston and Garrison Matthews as, two-way prospect guys. Maybe Bonga. Raul Neto definitely. And Robin Lopez, I feel like they could. But at the same time, Scott Brook left, so he was more of their guys. Now, what do you do right there, okay? And I'm thinking, like, hey, you could, theoretically speaking, go a little different than you would typically. I think Zaire Williams would be a good defensive guy. Yes, he had a rough year, but he's good defensively, and you could wait for his shooting, but the team needs shooting. And this is where I go for a reach pick. And Cam Thomas, a 6'3", 18-year-old freshman out of LSU, who's probably one of the best natural scorers in this draft class. Few teenagers have the kind of scoring instinct that Cam Thomas has, and he has this insane sense and ability for how to get defenders off balance and have this ridiculous pull-up game that allows him to be constantly taking advantage of other players. And he was the fourth leading scorer in college basketball as a teenager, and that's pretty insane. So the problem is scoring is all he does. He's a terrible defender, and he plays very very selfishly on offense to the point that I can see some friction developing between him and older teammates. So that's where it comes. Like, I don't know. I don't see him going for a defender because they have Daniel Gafford and Thomas Bryant at the center position. Corey Kispert's the safest pick. If they really want defense and Zaire Williams is there, I don't think he's going to be there. They could go there. And, I mean, they have Roy's their power forward. There's Sharif Cooper. This is where you have to go for a reach for a guy who has a lot of, you know, potential. And that guy, either you go for a guy with potential or pro readiness. The most pro ready player who could be at this spot, in my opinion, is Corey Kispert. Guy with the most potential right here. If you want scoring, Cam Thomas, and probably the second best pick right here. I think Jalen Johnson really underwhelmed in the combine and stuff. Yeah, I don't see anyone right here that I could argue. Maybe Miles McBride, but again, that's another reach. So let me hear your opinions down below, guys. Peace out.